Hello, Ken. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you, Ruta?
I'm very, very good. I love our shirts today. It's so
Yes,
amazing.
yes, I just dressed up for you.
That's brilliant. So exotic, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And isn't
Yeah,
it amazing that you are on the other side of the planet, but we can communicate each other, so easily.
absolutely. It's 9 a.m. in the morning in Brazil, and it's
Yeah.
9 p.m. in the evening for you in
Yes,
Japan,
so
isn't
that means
it?
we are exactly on the opposite side of the planet. So when I
Exactly.
just start digging the hole, I'll see on the other side.
Exactly. Let's meet for a coffee.
Yes, it'll be a hot coffee, not iced coffee.
Exactly. So let's begin. I would love first to learn from you what success means to you, because redefining success is all about that. And I'm curious what success means to you.
Wow, that's a very deep and big question, Ruta. For me, success is the state that you can enjoy your time. So when I just analyze what it is, you can do whatever you want at whenever you want, at wherever you want, with whomever you want. So you can write a book, you can cook, you can play with kids, whatever it is that you are absolutely excited about. If you can do it at the pace you do, or the where you want to, I think that is success. It's nothing to do with money. Money plays a little bit, little role, but I think more of how you spend your time.
So investment is not an investment of money, but rather investment of your time, of your resources, of your energy, who you're spending your time with, how you're
Yes.
spending your time.
hmm And of course, to be able to do that, you need some money. But that's a secondary thing. It may not require so much money because, some people just love fishing. And a lot of people think I'll just I'll be fishing after I retire. But why do you wait 40 more years? You can go
Exactly.
fishing this weekend. So you don't have to wait for whatever you want to do. So of course, money is important, and I teach about money, but you should forget about money when you think of your happiness.
I love that. So sounds to me like what you're talking about is finding your passion and
Yes.
building your life around your passions, about what feels really exciting to you, and following your intuition, following your alignment, following your harmony. And so how do you say that, how important is passion when it comes to creating wealth, creating money, but also living a happy life?
You're asking great questions, Ruta. I really enjoy it. So, passion is very important. And I think it's the only ingredient uh, when you just want to cook happiness and success. The other thing I could think of is curiosity. If you can be curious about anything, you can do so many things in your life. So, passion comes after curiosity because if you are depressed, you cannot have passion. If you depressed, you're just pressing inward, and if you express, that's like more passion. So, depression, expression, and passion, depression, sort of the same thing. So, if you just know what you want, you are already half successful. And if you can be passionate about what you want, that means you can obtain it. You think you can obtain it. And at the same time, you have to understand that by enjoying what you receive, you can be happier. There are two components of life: getting what you want or going after what you want, more
Mm,
positive, more active, and also the more passive part is like enjoying what you got.
mm,
Because if you cannot enjoy what you got, you keep wanting more. If you're making $100,000, you want 200,000, $1 million, and $2 million, and two homes, this a big airplane and stuff. But if you can enjoy what you receive, you don't have to go after too many things. But If you just enjoy what you got and just stagnate there, it's a boring life. So you have to have two in your balance.
So gratitude is a part of receivership, right? So what you're saying is that the more grateful we are for what we have and where we are in life and what we have, what we earn, what we create when it comes to material possessions,
Mhm.
the more we are open to receiving even more, and we are amplifying our capacity and increasing our capacity to receive more money, more greatness, more clients, more
Mhm.
opportunities, right?
Exactly. That's what I call money EQ. Receiving more is the first step of money EQ. And the second one is enjoying what you got. The third
Mm.
rule is trusting the flow. Fourth rule is share your wealth. So by receiving what is offered to your life, you can expand more. It's a totally different energy from getting what you want. So it's interesting. But receiving what came to your life is as important as going after what you want. And you need to have
Mm.
both energy.
You just mentioned sharing
Mhm.
your wealth or money.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? How important is that to share what you have with other people?
What's interesting is that unless we share what we have, we don't know that we have it. So when you are more kind, when you share your heart, generosity, then you know that you're a good person. And when you just share your food, your money, uh, then you feel like, oh, I have more than enough. So when you're worried about money, my suggestion is to donate a dollar, quarter, just a little money in a little jar and right next to the register in a convenience store or something. And then when you just start donating a dollar, $10, whatever that is, and then if you're not there, that means, okay, I have more than enough. So this feeling of I have more than enough is super important.
I love that. I've heard this statement a long while ago. Happiness is only real when shared. And that's exactly it's when you can't even share your happiness or your joy or your peace or your money, then you don't even know that you're having it, right?
Exactly. So
Right.
if you to share what you have. And if you don't have money, you can share your smile. You can share your kind heart. You can text your friend and say, I love you. And, all kinds of things. How are you is also good. So just sharing your heart is also a very important giving. So
Mm,
you can give,
brilliant.
yeah, it doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. And this is a perfect also bridge to the whole topic of happy money, because that's
Mhm.
exactly what you're talking about in your book
Yes.
and elaborate so much and so deep into the topic of how there's a concept of happy money versus unhappy money. So would you like to expand a little bit on that? What does that mean and why this distinction is so important?
I never thought there are two kinds of money, but when I just look at people, even though you have the same amount of money, some people are very happy, others are not. It's because how we receive our money, how we make our money, how we spend our money determines our happiness. For example, if you do what you don't like at work, you bring a lot of stress when you come back home. But if you do the job that you really love and your clients appreciate you, you have happy customers. When you come back home, you just smiling, you may be singing because you're happy. So the money you bring in carries a lot of happy energy. And when you pay bills, when you spend money, can you do that with a happy smile? Your money becomes happy money. But unfortunately, 95% of us are in the flow of unhappy money. When you receive unhappy money, you feel frustrated or like, ooh, it's not enough. And then bad energy because it comes with a stress. And when you pay bills, you are upset, you're frustrated because I can't believe it. This is so expensive. So when you're complaining about something, then it becomes unhappy money. So you are the one who can choose happy money or unhappy money.
And it makes us so much different, such a difference also, and so much sense when we have the story in the mind that money is hard to get, this is too expensive. Like my dad was just like that all the time since my early childhood, that everything was too expensive, even if it was
Uh-huh.
butter and it was 10 pennies or 10 cents more than it was a month ago or a year ago, he would complain about that. And that ingrained such a deep narrative in my subconscious mind that, well, money is really hard and difficult, and
Right.
it's something to really watch out and to be careful about, and you have to save very carefully and not to overspend and not to treat yourself well. And it makes such a huge difference when you shift that story into, actually, I always have enough, and I love sharing money with other people, and I
Mhm.
love treating myself and other people to a nice meal or a nice little gift or something like that. And it somehow makes you feel so much more expanded, and like you said also earlier, you trust the process and you trust the universe and you trust that you're fine no matter how much you have in the bank account. Just that
Mhm.
narrative shift makes all the difference.
Mhm. Exactly. So once you know that you can create abundance and happiness by sharing who you are, by doing what you love, you know that people appreciate you and you appreciate them. So whatever you appreciate, appreciates. If you appreciate money, money appreciates. If you appreciate clients, more happy customers. So the more focus you put on will come back. So that's
Mm.
why I started my career as a writer. I started giving away my booklets. So I started sharing my booklets to 3,000 people. Many people loved it. So I gave another 5,000, 10,000, 5,000. And by the time I gave away 100,000 copies, my first publisher contacted me, and the rest is history. That's 21 years ago. And since then, I have published more than 200 books and sold almost 9 million copies.
Wow. Wow. When
That
you
is the
share
power of
it,
giving.
it comes back tenfold, isn't it? Like I feel like every time we immute energy of giving something great to the
Right.
universe, to the people,
Yes.
to
Uh-huh.
whoever, to the society, then
Yes.
everything returns back tenfold, a hundredfold, thousandfold, millionfold. In your case, it's 9 million copies. How amazing is that?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
how I felt. So I did an experiment of giving because 22 years ago, I read a book. It said, what you give, you will receive. I
Right.
didn't trust that. Like, what? So I wanted to do some experiment. That's why I started giving away. And I ended up giving away my booklets to 2.3 million people, which cost about 3 million US dollars. It's a
Wow.
free gift. It's a physical booklets. But, after 21 years, I got $13 million back from book royalties because I sold 9 million. So whatever I gave away 3 million. I received $30 million in 20 years. So you do the
Mm.
math, it's not what you give will come back. It comes back like 4 times or 5 times more. So that's why I suggest people just start giving.
What do you think made a difference for you? Was it that you didn't expect anything in return? Was it that you were detached from those books? What was the underlying root that enabled you to create this kind of effect where you're giving and you're returning back and you're not clinging onto it and
Yes.
being needy around it?
Huh? So I wrote the national bestseller. The title is Do What You Love and Make Sure Money Follows You. A lot of people do what they love. So they give, 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 but they forget to receive. So life is a constant flow of receiving and giving. I receive a lot of money. That's why I could give. It's not I gave a lot of money, then I receive, you know. So you have to receive first. So by being able to receive money, compliments, nice words, kind words, you can be happier. And the happiness sort of like overflows from your cup and then to other people. And whatever overflowed will come back. So that is a rule of happiness. So you have to focus on giving but make sure you have a container to receive.
Okay.
Unless you have a container to receive, you cannot keep giving. You'll be in sacrifice. If you're in sacrifice, you become needy, you become untrusting, and then you give up, right?
Makes so much sense also when it comes to receivership, that underneath it all, you need to address all of the beliefs, whether or not you feel worthy of receiving. And like you said,
Mhm.
if you need to first open your receivership instead of like giving simply because you maybe don't have enough to even share and give, then
Yes.
a lot of people are facing these challenges to give or to receive without feeling like, oh, but I didn't earn it. I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like XYZ. So how important do you think these beliefs are when it comes to how we value ourselves, and whether or
Mhm.
not we allow that floodgate of money and receivership to come back in the shape of compliments, even like you said?
Yeah, so that's why from what I teach, the first law is of money EQ is receive. You have to receive whatever comes to your life, either positive or negative, because by embracing what came to your life, you trust that all the good things come to your life. Sometimes it's wrapped in a bad wrapping paper. It looks bad on you. You may go bankrupt, you lose your job, you may get sick, your partner left you. That looks bad on the surface. But because of that, you are given a new life. So whatever comes to your life, don't judge it. That's a good thing. I want to receive. That's a bad thing. I don't want to receive. Because good thing comes and later on it became a bad thing, and a bad thing became a good thing later on. So whatever comes, you just appreciate it, accept it, embrace it. By doing that, you receive more. So it's just the energy. It's not either good or bad. So by receiving energy from people around you. That is the first law of money EQ. So by receiving money, can you appreciate it? Even though it may not be a big amount, but you can enjoy money. You can thank the money. You can thank the people who gave you the money. If you are working as a freelance consultant or a coach or a healer, your client could have chosen somebody else, out of 10,000 other coaches, they trusted you. There are so many podcasts, but uh, they chose Ruta's podcast, right? Wow, like, thank you. I know there are so many people out there. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for trusting me. So by
Exactly.
receiving people coming to your life, like, wow, that's a miracle. It's an incredible thing. And then your true appreciation touches your client's heart. That's how it works.
Exactly. Treating everyone as one-on-one. It's not an audience, it's one person at the time. And being so thankful for every single relationship, every single interaction, every single word, kind word, every single attention. If someone is reading my post, it makes me feel happy. Even if I don't know that person, it makes me feel
Uh-huh.
happy that, well, finally someone is hopefully
Hmm.
learning something new. Hopefully it
Hmm.
made their day. And it makes such a huge difference also to accept all of it, like you said, not just the good, but also the bad, perceived bad, like you said, because so often people are playing the game not to lose, and they're basically very risk averse, and they're like, okay, well, I don't want to do this thing because otherwise maybe I will lose, maybe I will, go bankrupt, maybe I will lose this much money, maybe I will break up with this partner, whatever it is. But actually life is about surrendering to life, and it's really about welcoming all of the experiences. And when we start playing for the sake of playing and playing for the sake of winning, really it's just a matter of attitude. I want to win with all of it, with all of the experiences, whether they seem like somewhat undesirable or not, but they are beneficial in one way or another.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree with you. So by just understanding the flow of energy in your life, you can trust more. because once you know that this world is so full of love, full of generosity, and then you can find peace with your life. So when you have a better
Exactly.
relationship with money and work and with your friends and clients, then the more good thing will come to your life or bad thing.
Exactly.
Either way,
Exactly.
you can enjoy it.
Exactly. Either way, it's a matter of choice. Like, how do you choose to respond to the situation? Do you choose
Mhm,
to go the downward spiral, or do you
mhm,
choose to accept it and move on fast? So now you just touched on something very important when you are also talking about, you suggest that our relationship with money can reflect our relationships with love, with life, with every other
mhm.
aspect of life. And so I would be curious to hear a little bit more about how improving our financial health might impact other areas of life and vice versa. How focusing on relationships, for example, or lifestyle and health can influence financial health.
Everything is connected. So if you improve your financial life, you have less stress, and that leads to a better health. And also, when you have enough money, you fight less with your partner. When you have enough money, you don't have to scold your kids, and you don't have to fight with other people. And also, when you have enough money, you don't have to be so stingy. So you have less tension between the people you work with. So, and also, if you have a happier mentality, if you're happier, you generally have a better relationship with people because you're more generous, you're more funny, you're more kind, and people love that. But if you're stressed financially or if you're sick, kind of like everything goes bad. So you have to really change from somewhere. You can change your inner attitude. You can change your financial reality. You can change your health. You can change how you feel about life. So every day, are you working on improving your health or wealth and all the good things, or are you deteriorating? Are you going back? Going down?
Totally. And it reminds me also of a lot of individuals who are, especially in business world, where they are focusing on earning money, making profit,
Uh-huh.
growing and moving forward and all of that. Basically, it's all about the income as the first priority. And then I was like, actually, what about focusing on having fun and
Hmm.
enjoying the process and feeling amazing and feeling inspired to create and making a difference in the world and having that as the first priority. So it's kind of like a chicken and an egg situation
Yeah.
because you want both. So what would you say business owners especially should focus on first and foremost? Is it the profit and money, or is it the happiness and enjoying the process?
So the profit comes after you're making somebody smile. So if you make your customer or client happy, they pay you more. So money comes after making you're making somebody happy. So to make somebody happy, you have to be happy. So by making you the first client, you have to find what you love. That's why I just keep telling you that you have to find what you love. So you are your first client. And like I'm very happy when I write books. I'm smiling, right? And then so my happy energy uh, comes out of my fingers and then put it into my book. And my book will be out there. People love reading my books. I sold 9 million, right? Obviously, people loved it. So they enjoy reading my books and they really get the benefit out of my book. And then they pay me the money. So that makes me feel happy and also prosperous too. So if you just take the orders wrong, in order to make the money, and I probably raise my the price of my books high, and people buy it, it doesn't work. People will not buy it. I'll be upset, So if I try to go after money, it doesn't work. So you have to focus on making yourself smile first, and then your customers.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Have you always been a happy person, or was there a moment when you had to actually switch and learn to be happy?
I had to learn so many things. My father was a abusive alcoholic. My father's client committed suicide. I think when he was in his early 40s, I was like 9, 10 at the time. And so it was a big shock. And his mother, like my grandmother, died at around the same time. So he was a happy person, but he became depressed. So
Mm,
as he got depressed, he got abusive. He just did a lot of violent stuff with my brother and also my sister, my mom. So our family wasn't as happy as
mhm.
we could be. So I lost our happiness. So that's why I started my journey to find peace with life and also peace myself.
Mm,
I think I ended up becoming more happy than, I was. So like every day,
mm,
I'm just finding my balance. Sometimes I wake up, I don't feel good. So I have to just kind of like adjust myself. And sometimes I'm too happy and then I have to adjust myself. So it's a
right.
very Zen attitude. When somebody says, Ken, you're a God, you just saved my life. Thank you so much. You're amazing. When people say that, I say in my heart, I'm terrible. I'm lousy. I can't even organize my bed. I cannot cook. So I just point out all the bad things about me and then I balance back. And then when
Mm,
when somebody say bad things about me, which I don't really hear often, and then I say, "Oh, I'm great, Ken. You're so amazing," and then I balance back. So when positive energy comes in, I try to go off to negative side and balance it out. When negative things comes at, I try to go to positive side and balance out. So that's how I live.
that's such a great practice on a daily basis to keep on rebalancing and realigning. And as soon as you feel like something is off and somehow you're not in your absolute best, then it's like, okay, let's investigate what's actually going on. Where are these negative emotions coming from? And are they even real? Or is it just a story that I'm telling myself? And it seems like that's exactly what you're doing. And I would love to also hear a little bit more about what other daily practices you apply in your daily life to making sure that you are in alignment and you are in that expanded place.
hmm So I have been very fortunate because I have enough money and I was happier before. So I don't have to work for money. I don't have to do things that I don't like, right?
Mhm.
So I can plan my life based on what I want to do. And I do mostly, I would say 90% of the things I do for free. I don't charge people because I have already enough money. So I get to do whatever I want. And then if people want to listen to me, like my YouTube and stuff, I'm happy. I don't get paid, but it's okay, yeah, because I'm happy. And all the other things that I ask myself, do I want to do it? When I feel my heart is open, I'll do it. When I don't do it. Like, I got a mail saying from my staff, like, there is this person, Ruta, and she's doing this and this. Do you want to accept the interview? Okay, sounds great. And then when my heart, sometimes I don't look at the pictures or anything. It just, when my heart opens, I said yes. When my heart closes, no matter how much I would get paid, no, the answer is no. So it's very simple. So that is a very simple practice that keeps me balanced and also excited and open and happy. But you need to do a lot of practice because you
Yeah.
have to have certain financial background to be able to say no to the things that only brings you money. So if you need money to bring food on the table, your story could be a little different. But basically, if you can do more than 60 or 70% of what you love to do daily, that's a great life. And you can make it 80%, 90%. And if you can do 100% of what you want to do, you're in heaven. You don't have to die.
Absolutely amazing. And this reminds me of a concept that I keep on talking about is ditching obligations, because I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of people are exactly in that space where they feel like they have to do something and it's sucking their soul out of them, and it's something that they don't want to do, and it's like, oh, but I don't feel like it, and it just goes down the hill. Basically, it's a downward spiral where you're not just sucking your soul out of yourself, but also it just feels so draining and you don't have energy, and it's not really refilling your cup, but basically it's emptying your cup even more. So in my experience, especially after I started my own coaching business over 4 years ago, I found myself, even though I chose to be my own boss, but somehow I found myself in having too many obligations. Obligations meaning I feel like I have to do it, or I should do it, even
Mhm.
though I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to do this thing. Maybe I don't want to have that interview. Maybe I don't want to show up this way. Maybe I don't want to create this kind of I don't know, piece of content or write books like you, for example. So that when I realized that obligations are the things that really diminish or dim dim your light and dim your excitement, and as soon as you ditch those obligations and allow yourself to choose what you want to spend your time and energy on, and then just focus on that, it starts building momentum and your
Mhm.
energy starts amplifying and you start being magnetic and you start feeling amazing and inspired, and you want to create and you want to give and you want to talk to people and you want to create, and basically the train goes. So
Yeah.
what's your experience when it comes to like obligations, ditching obligations, and magnetism really? How do you do that?
Yeah. Uh, I I remember it so many years ago. It's like almost 30 years ago when I just did that. So, but when I did that with my father, I left my father's accounting firm like 30 years ago. When you ditch your obligation, you can do it, but the price you have to pay as a guilt comes in.
Mm,
Like you feel so bad for your mother, or you feel so bad for the company or your friends and colleagues. So you have to deal with this guilt too, like a guilt of not fulfilling obligation as a child, or as a teacher, or as a coach, or whatever. And so you have to understand the guilt mechanism as well. So instead of just run away from your obligations, my advice is embrace it. You know,
mm,
even though you do the same thing, if you have to do it to pay the rent and everything, I understand it. And I'm a practical guy, right? So when you have to do it, you embrace it. Like when you were small, your mother said, like, bring this garbage out. When you were told to do, you hated it, right? But when you did it for your mom, and your mama said, like, thank you, you're such a beautiful child, you were so happy. So if you do the same thing, but do it out of obligation, you feel, but if you do the same thing out of love, so you do it before you even feel it as obligation. And if you can embrace any role, any obligation, then obligation disappears. So that would be your first step. And then by embracing your obligations, you can enjoy anything in your life. So you can enjoy a very boring job, you can enjoy anything, and then your energy goes up. And if your energy goes up, your vibration matches to a better job for you. And then you probably feel less obligated, and you enjoy more. So, and if you just embrace the obligation, like say this time your obligation is 50% instead of 80%, you are more free. And then embrace the obligation, you go raise up, and then your obligation level becomes 20%, and by then you're just a free, happy person. So just don't run away from it. Just embrace it, enjoy it even. Because, many years after now, you regret, or you just remember, like, wow, that was a tough time. But I just, with a bitter feeling, like, oh, I'm so glad it's not, it's over. I'm just enjoying my life. So just think of the future 20 years from now, and then remember what happened. You're in the memory, sweet, bitter memory. So just enjoy your
Exactly.
obligation.
It makes so much sense also in the context of like when I talk about digital obligations, it's just a matter of like you said earlier, whether or not you want to do it or not. But
Mhm.
here's the catch. Like some people say, but hey, but I have obligations to provide for my family, or I have
Yeah.
obligations to care for my kids, or I have obligations to go to my, work, for example. And here's the thing, like this is not an obligation. You are choosing it because you love your family, you want to provide for your kids, you
Mhm.
want to feel safe and healthy and provided for, so you go to work. You run your business because you want to run your business, so then
Mhm.
it's not really an obligation. So like you said, basically it's combining different aspects where first you ditch obligations which simply feel like this is not in alignment with my soul. Like you
Mhm.
talk a lot about life script. In my words, it's soul's code. What is my life script? What do I want to do? What is my soul called to be doing on this planet? And ditch all the rest. And then everything else, it's not an obligation anyway. So reframe it from feeling like it's an obligation and feel like, actually, I get to do this. I get to provide for my family. I get to earn this money. I get to run my business. How amazing is that? And I'm lucky and I'm happy. And for me, even in my own like last, especially for 4+ years, sales and marketing was that kind of obligation. Like, oh, I wish I could just coach people and do nothing else. All I do is I show up to my coaching calls with my clients and that's it. And then I was like, wait a second, actually, I get to do sales and marketing and show up and create content and write posts and make videos and all that stuff. And I love it. So as soon as I switched my attitude about all of those aspects of running a business, it wasn't an obligation anymore. It was like I actually enjoy doing it.
Beautiful. Yes, that's the idea. So it's, as long as you can enjoy it, an obligation becomes an honor. I feel honored to be able to provide my family, right? So I think
Exactly.
you can change your shift that beautifully. I think you're so great, Ruta, that you're doing it so wonderfully
Thank
and
you.
so with a grace. So that's
Thank
why
you.
you're a popular coach. People love you for being so flexible and being so welcoming. So people love those people, right? So that's why you're popular. So once you become
Mm,
who you are, people become attracted to you. You become like a magnet. And I think that is
exactly.
the key.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, talking about magnetism and all of that, I'm wondering also when it comes to money, what's what's your idea of, are we earning money? Are we making money? Are we creating money, or are we manifesting money, or maybe a combination of all of these? What are we
To
doing with
me,
money?
to me, money shows up from middle of nowhere.
I love
So like, oh, what is this money? Like, it just suddenly it's here, So that's how I feel. So if you just keep enjoying, keep appreciating, keep sharing your heart, somehow there's so much money in your bank account. So because I love writing, I love speaking, I love just helping people, right? And sometimes I get paid, sometimes I don't. It's okay. If people can afford it, cannot afford it, they don't have to pay. If people
that.
want to pay, they can do it. So as a result, just when I open the box, I have a lot of money. So I didn't earn it. I didn't demand it. I didn't create it. It just ended up here. So like, oh, welcome back. So like for me, money is like an angel flying around. So when I just spend my money, I would say, hey, angel, come back soon, especially with many friends, So they just
I
fly back,
love
right?
that.
They just bless everybody on the route, and then they come back with lots of friends. So when they come back, say,
Mm.
"Okay, welcome home. Just stay there." And then, oh, where do you want to go? Oh, I want to go help kids in Cambodia, orphanage. Okay, fly there. I just want to do just this. Okay, do that. So I'm just sort of like a guy who is sorting out. Okay, you should go there. You should go there. That's my role.
Amazing. This is such a great way to look at it. It's like, it's not just a byproduct of you living a happy life and making a difference, but also having this really intimate relationship and friendly, loving relationship and respectful relationship with money, where you also have fun with it. So, oftentimes we say that it's a neutral resource, but actually, if you treat it as a friend, it's not even a neutral resource. It's a resource that's just you're like friends hanging out together and creating a
Yes.
party. It's like, invite more, we're having a party here.
Right. Yeah. So, so that's why financial independence is very important. Once you achieve financial independence, money comes in, you just let it out, and you don't have to have a strong attachment to that, right? So it's because you have a system set up for you. So
Mm,
that's why you don't have to focus. Like why you don't have to focus on marketing. Whatever you do becomes marketing. And then enough people will show up on the front door. So enough people show up with money. So that's why you're supported. Your whole team gets supported with this happy money. So
mm,
just focus on your life, focus on your love, focus on the things you truly care about. Once you're 100% focused, that love and passion will bring necessary resources, including money.
brilliant. So what you just mentioned is, I think, very, very key, that when you focus on your craft, on your art, on living your best life, what happens is that all the rest takes care of itself. Marketing takes care of itself, sales takes care of itself, et cetera, et cetera. So how important do you feel building a personal brand is? Because that's what essentially this means, right? When you focus on your life, when you focus on making a difference, when you focus on maximizing your potential and showing up as authentically as possible, you're building a personal brand. You
Mhm.
can have built a personal brand and you're well known all over the world, right? So Ken Honda is like a guy with the money, happy money, and it's a brand. So how important is it to build that, in your opinion?
So brand is sort of like built on your personality. If you try to be somebody else, it's kind of hard. So you cannot fake it. You cannot act it. So you should, if you think of branding yourself, it should come out from the essence of you. And so to do that, you have to understand your archetypes. Like Ruta, you are a healer, you are a philosopher, you are a rebel, you are a crown, that to make people laugh and stuff. You're an entertainer. So that combination of gifts is a very unique brand called Ruta. So your Ruta brand is made of, funny energy, beautiful energy, healing energy, and lots of passion, right? So that is a special cocktail. And when
Mm,
people have a sip, this is great. Can I have another one? So that's how addictive your podcast and programs are. So once you create your own brand, don't fake it. Don't ruin it by just trying to put more ingredient. I think your organic ingredient is enough. Some people think that's
mm.
not enough. So you put cinnamon and you put sugar. Like, oh, like this, isn't this too sweet? So I think you should create your own cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a great point. Absolutely. And also another question that came to my mind a couple of days ago was like, some business owners or individuals who are working in the corporate world, for example, they hit an income ceiling and
Mhm.
they keep on recreating the same reality over and
Yes.
over and over again, year after year after year. And they want more. They want to create more. They want to 10x their income or whatever. And yet somehow it's not happening.
Yeah.
Somehow they're like, okay, what am I doing wrong? I'm putting all this effort into it and I don't know, something is not clicking.
Yes.
So what would you say, what kind of piece of advice would you give to these individuals who want to 10x their income, for example, and
Yeah,
they keep on hitting the same ceiling, and it's like, oh, what am I doing wrong?
it's interesting because 2 days ago, I had a client who are exactly like that. And I asked him, why do you want to just increase your income by 10 times? And he said, oh, because I want to feel secure. I can just buy something. And how much are you going to, do you have a specific plan to use all the money? And no, he said, I'm going to put it in my bank account and think. So for money, it's not exciting. You're just a boring person, because you don't have a plan. So you should have a money disposable plan. So I
Mm.
call it, angel allocation plan. So if you say you have $1 million in your bank account, what would you do? You don't do anything. I bought a retreat center about 12 years ago, and 60 people can come and just stay there, and it's a seminar. It's like a hotel. So I wanted to buy that, so that's why I made a lot of money. So the money I made was going to use for that. That's why I was motivated enough. A lot of people think in terms of numbers. If I make, say, $100,000 or $1 million, I'm a success. I'm great. I'll be worth something. But unless you have a disposable plan, money disposable plan, money doesn't come in because from money's perspective, think about it. Even if they come to you, you're almost locked in under the cage in a basement. Think about a dog who just comes to your house, and then you say, "Oh, yo, doggy, doggy, come!" And then you're dragged down to the basement and you're put in the cage, and for years, like you're like house arrest. So in my seminar, I just ask people, how many of you have your money under house arrest situation? And people are like, oh yeah, that's me. So a lot of people want to keep the money to feel safe.
Mm.
But the real security doesn't come from owning the money. The real security comes from this feeling inside. So unless you need that income, it will not come because you don't need
Mm.
it. So when the money doesn't come in, you you feel like it didn't click. No,
Mm.
the money knows that you cannot use it. That's why I call money container is so important. If you don't have a money container big enough, big money will not come in. Your money container is so small because you cannot spend it, Like I have many friends who are making more than $1 million a month. So if you're making $1 million a month, you cannot spend all the money. If you're making more than $100,000 a month, like $1 million in income, when you when you catch a cold and sick for a few days, like $30,000 will be sitting in your bank account. You cannot spend it all. So unless you have a strong spending plan, money will not be used in such a happy way. So
Mm.
unless you have a specific plan to use the money, money will not come.
So what about building uh wealth, in your opinion? Like, if you employ money, or you let money go and have party and bring more money through investment, for example, or through investing into coaches and mentors, for example, whatever it is, um how building wealth plays a role in one's life. Because if we're constantly employing money, then do you have to always use money and spend money, or
Oh,
is it just an accumulation and basically
okay, so
having fun with it?
I said, when I said money go to that place, that means helping other people as a
Right.
form of investment. So my money is invested in a company that is doing a lot of social good. So it'll come back. Sometimes the other day, the company I invested in just went public, right? So the money grew. So so some of the money are working there for me. So
Mm.
so I become a, so let me put it this way. The money I own is like a family, so like my angel family is working for me. So the angels are working in terms of investing. I have real estate, I have stock, I have other thing like gold and other things. So my angels are changing forms in many different ways. So when they grow, they come back and they're there to help other people. So it's not
Mm,
just, I didn't say spend it all, When
right.
when you think of spending, all the time, you probably heard it that way. But I didn't say just spending all the money away. I said money
Exactly.
go there, go that
Yeah.
under my name. So
Yeah.
that way they can help, and then as a reward, money comes back with the friends.
Mm.
That's
Thank
what
you.
it
Thank you
is.
for elaborating on that. And coming back to the 10x, so what I understood that in that case, you would also always question whether or not the person wants to actually focus on 10xing their income, or they want to 10x their having fun, making a
Yeah.
difference, enjoying their life, spending more time with their family, for example. So what will that money actually enable them to do? And vice versa, like how can I be 10x happier and therefore also make more money?
Yeah. So, my experiences tell me that you don't need so much money, because if you try to get more money, you could lose it. You experience a lot of stress as well. So is it worth it? You can probably
Mm,
make your income 10 times higher, but if your business model is the same, you have to do 10 times more coaching, unless you're a little smarter. And if you want to do smarter work, you have to come up with a different business plan. You have to come up with a totally different game. That requires some some also shift in you, and then that will just stress you out too. So
mm,
life is very short. For me, uh, the age 25 to 55 is your golden time. Like that doesn't mean that after 55 your life will just go down the toilet, but like 20 from 25 to 55 is a golden time, and then you can enjoy your life in your 60s. But I suggest young people enjoy life while you can, while you don't have knee pain and elbow pain and lower back pain, you should go out, enjoy life. If you just go
yeah.
on airplane, you're okay. But if you hit 60s, flying an airplane is 10 times harder.
Mm. Yeah, to me, when I think about 10xing income, it's not really about the money itself. It's more about 10xing impact,
Mhm,
10xing how many people's lives I have touched, how many people's lives I have improved,
mhm.
how much more I'm capable of spending time and energy with the right people in my life, or how can I support people in my family, maybe they don't have enough, for example. So it's basically 10xing everything else, and your footprint on this planet becomes 10x more because you have more, because you can improve, like you said, sending money to Cambodia, sending money to this, sending money to that, and then money amplifies and does the magic on the planet, making the planet a better place.
Yeah, but you seem to be just saying that the more is better, even though, say, like there are people who are just making five family members happy. Here is a person who just created a big company and helped
Mm-hmm.
so many people. Like, who is better? Like if your
Mm,
money content is better, you should do it. But life is too short to do so many things.
right.
So, and also, if you're just trying to help, 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 you just tend to forget yourself. So I
Mm.
want you to include you as one of the people who are helped.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are addicted to helping people, and you forget to help yourself. Because for me, just reading mystery novels is also, fun downtime for me. I can do more podcasts. I can do more, but I need to just nourish myself. I hang around with my family, and just do stupid things, and that doesn't create anything, My family
Mm.
time doesn't create anything, that doesn't impact other people. We're just enjoying our life. So it's a balance once again. If you're trying to do more, give more, do more impact.
Overcompensating, basically, if you're trying to overcompensate something, right?
Right. So you forget who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you forget to enjoy life, because
Mm-hmm.
you can enjoy art, you can enjoy just a very stupid conversation with your friends, like no meaningful, like a little chat, just playing cards, just getting excited with something weird, just making a pottery, painting, playing piano, or singing songs and whatever, cook. Uh, so you have to start drawing line. Otherwise, I love cooking, these days. I used to think like I should hire a chef. I have a driver, but I love driving myself. So if you just try to be time effective and cost effective, everything, and then the most cost effective and environmental free situation is you should die young. So you're not going to consume any, resources. So if you live your short life, you will not uh, contaminate the planet. So
Mm.
what do you want to do? Do you want to help people? But like how many? If you're doing too much, you're being sacrificed. So you have to find once again your happiness and also your work. So don't let
Absolutely.
your work on money eat you up. A lot of people are eaten up. Unfortunately, like say they say, okay, eat here, and then they're being bitten everywhere. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why I began this brand Redefining Success, because so many people are focused and already focused on making money and more and more and more and more. But what I'm trying to convey with this entire brand and with this podcast is that it's not about the money, and at the end you have to prioritize yourself and take care of yourself first and foremost, and only then, when you build a very healthy balanced relationship with yourself, you will be able to have relationships that are healthy with everything and everyone in the world. So absolutely makes total sense to me. And one of the last questions before we wrap up is, in your opinion, how might success or fear of success influence money or influence how we create money? When someone is actually afraid of being successful or afraid of having money, how does it play out?
we have this almost like we feel royal to being ordinary. We feel so obligated to being like other people. So this feeling that I have to do exactly what I need to do with my friends, what my friends do, the pressure is so strong. So if you just become successful, you stand out from the crowd. Your friends may not like you. Your family members may not love you for that. So you have to really understand the pressure, social pressure, from outside and also from inside. And at the same time, if you try to sacrifice yourself by playing low, flying low, you get bored. But if you're flying too high, you get scared. So you have to find the balance. If you're just going too low or too slow, life could be boring. So if you're watching this and if you feel like your life is a bit boring, you're going like 10 kilometers, like very slow. And then if you're just too scared of the change but go up and down, you're going too fast. So once again, it's a balance. Like if you're feeling bored, you should step on the gas. If you feel a little scared of too much change, you should slow down. So
Hmm.
I hope life will be kind to you and you be kind to yourself and your friends and other things, because we put ourselves too much pressure. You should do more. You should impact the world. You can do more. But if you just do that, that could be an abuse to yourself. So
Hmm.
I just think 80% is okay. You know, I know I can do it. I can do more, but I'm okay with 80%. That's how I feel about me. You know, I can probably do more, but I enjoy my life. So instead of just doing more, I want to travel. Like I want to, this year or next year, I want to go see South America. That's a place I have never been. So,
Ah,
like instead
welcome
of
to Brazil. Come over.
thank you. So instead of just working so hard and hard and hard, I can just, go around the world, So I've been going around the world 3 times, but somehow I always miss South America. I go to Central America, but I miss South America.
It's about time. It's really amazing here in Brazil. And I love your 80% rule because that's exactly how I live my life too. And especially I would illustrate with an example when it comes to food. I eat 80% well food, good quantity, healthy, nutritious, all of that. And then 20%, I allow myself to have a pizza. I allow myself to have whatever. And then that balance where I know that I actually treat my body very well, but I don't have to be so like stiff about it and so strict about it. And I just allow myself to flow and be flexible. And if I go back to Lithuania, for example, I will not say no to my grandma the food that she's making because it's not healthy enough.
It must be very, delicious.
Yes, it is. It is. So I have one last question to you because it's something that someone asked me a couple of days ago, and he was sharing basically that he dislikes the whole system of money. And he's like,
Mm,
why can't it be just that we always have enough and I don't have to worry about money and I don't have to be in this survival all the time because he has to pay bills and he has kids and all of that
mm.
stuff. And he's like, I just want to relax. I just want to help people, enjoy what I'm doing, do something that I really love, contribute to a better world, and not ever worry about money. And because of that, he created this kind of resentment against money. And because of that, he's kind of repelling it. So, what's your advice to someone like that who just doesn't want to touch the whole topic of money?
I understand that because, like, if we accidentally cut our fingers with a knife or just burn ourselves with the fire, we know that it hurts. And then, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to use a knife in my entire life again. Well, I don't use fire because I burn myself, right? So you have to be careful because it's a convenient tool. So that's the idea. Money
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with your feelings. Money can pull out the best feelings and worst feelings out of you. So if you have resentful energy about the world, money will pull it out. It's nothing to do with money. It's about your world view.
Mm-hmm.
So money could be such a great healer. Money teaches you here. There is this unhealed pain right there. You're scared. You believe in scarcity, so you have to heal that place, and then just you are the one who should create a situation what where you don't need money. Like I don't need money anymore. So I created personally in the same society as he lives in. So it's how you play the game. Do you want to play it well? You don't have to do that. But to do that, you have to really look at yourself, look at who you are, look what's inside. And then by healing what's inside you, you can be more. So I think money is such a beautiful part of lesson, and it's such a powerful lesson. So like it could be your obligation, it could be your role, but to do it's like a game, you have to play this game. Unfortunately, that is the rule of this entire world. Sometimes like you are born as a man, women, somewhere in between. So if you're in between, you feel upset about this situation, like where you have to always choose men or women, like there is no other choices. So unfortunately, our world is not matured yet. So you are the one who will create the answers for you.
Mm. I love that. I always say that money is an amplifier, and
Mhm.
it amplifies who you are deep down, what beliefs you hold, what thoughts you have, how you feel about a certain topic, and your emotions about anything, including in this case money, is an indication and a compass in a sense to really understand where you stand and what needs some work and what needs more attention and what needs to be healed, like you said. So thank you so much for that answer.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. And it's been such an amazing conversation. What I take from it is that it's all about the balance. It's all about focusing on yourself first and foremost and living your soul's code, living your life's script, and doing the best out of it with your 80-20 rule in a sense, and just enjoying life as much as possible and building healthy relationships, not just with money, but with everyone and everything in the world. And it's been such an amazing experience to hear from someone who has lived this way for such a long time, because I personally just began this journey about 6 years ago, and 4 years ago started a coaching business, so I'm still relatively fresh to it. So thank you so much for sharing your
Beautiful.
wisdom, for writing all these amazing books. And I hope it's not too late now in Japan. It's past 10 p.m. already, so it probably it's about
Okay,
time to go to bed.
I really enjoyed it, Ruta. Thank you so much for your beautiful energy. I'm so proud of you for being who you are and just sending all my blessings to you and the viewers of the world. So, my love to Brazil too. I've been always attracted to Brazil for many years and I haven't been there. So it's on my list that I should really just start thinking, seriously.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lots of love to you too, to Japan, and talk to you very soon. Thank you, and see you in the world.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
beautiful day.
you. You too. Bye bye.